What if your deepest wounds could unlock your greatest transformation? Join Sabine and I as we dive deep to have a look at how things have held you in that frequency and what you can do to raise your level of awareness, make a decision, and live the life of your dreams. Looking forward to 20 minutes with you.
Welcome to another episode of Healing Through Love. Each week, we share ideas, experiences, and resources to increase the awareness of domestic and family violence and to empower survivors to grow and thrive. We talk with experts who share their advice, or with people who have experienced abuse, no matter where they are on their journey. This is all about healing through love. And now, here are your hosts, Charlene Lynch and Rose Davidson.
Hello and welcome to the Healing Through Love podcast. I'm Charlene Lynch, and together we're shining a light on hope, resilience and transformation in the journey to end domestic violence. Each week we bring you inspiring interviews with change makers, survivors, advocates and experts who are making a difference in their lives and the lives affected by those of domestic and family violence. Whether you're on a healing journey or you're supporting someone who is, this is your space for powerful stories, practical tools, and heartfelt inspiration. Let's heal through love. I'd love to welcome to the stage today our amazing guest, and I want to open it with this question. What if your deepest wounds could unlock your greatest transformation? Meet Sabine, and I've got to say the name incorrectly, but Sabine Poncelet, because it's a French word. Yes, certified life coach, NLP coach, RSCI, so regression therapist, the trans channeler and quantum healer, blending science with spirituality. Sabine goes both, she guides both humans and animals through profound healing journeys. Born in Belgium with a very strong French accent and now thriving in a world of finance, Sabine owns the journey of the trauma, divorce and awakening led her to Dubai, where she transformed pain into purpose. Today, she helps others heal from trauma, PTSD, abuse and sexual dysfunction, including conditions she's overcome herself through initiative. And also I've got to talk about her animals as well. But hello, welcome to the stage, Sabine. How are you?
I'm good, Charlene. Thank you for receiving me. I'm glad to be here.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's share with the audience a little part. And I know there's lots of aspects of your journey, but let's give the audience a little bit of a background as to how you got to where you are now.
First of all, I'm born in a very dysfunctional family where they had a lot of violence. And I'm sure many of you know now, when you are born in that type of family, and if you don't heal, you will have the tendency to attract to you even worse every time until one day you will make the decision to finally heal. And that's exactly what happened to me, starting with an abuse, sexual abuse at the age of 12, then vaginismus. I still wonder how I got my daughter, by the way, but I got it. And I want to say that when you embrace that path, often if you make the decision to heal, your life can change tremendously. And that's really what happened to me. When finally one day after touching the rock bottom, I have decided, no, I will not go deeper. I will finally heal. And I can tell you, they have hope. And I'm the proof alive that you can. We stay in the victim mode. We don't want to recognize that something is wrong with us. And what is wrong is that we are born in a dysfunctional family and that we attract always.
Hey, Sabine, it looks like it's cut out just there for a moment, so it must be the bandwidth. So, look, I captured most of that. And one of the things that really stuck out for me from what you said, Sabine, was we attract. So, I know as a
Exactly.
survivor myself how triggering it was when when I heard the concept, first of all, that I'm attracting this. Now, I'm a strong believer in frequency, a strong believer that we create our reality. And for myself, when I was living below the line in that state of blame, excuses, and denial, and really not realizing that it was my behavior, my wounded behavior, that was making me attractive to those who would be my perpetrators. So can we unpack this attraction, this how do we attract people? Yeah, let's unpack that.
Yeah. How you attract is mainly unconscious, for sure. You are scattered. When you pass through experiences like those one, you are wounded, deeply wounded. Your aura is full of crack. I mean, your energetic field. At the same time, you vibrate on a very low level. Then, of course, your light it is diminished. You have more dirt on you, let's say this way, if I can use those words, heavy things, heavy energies that for sure will resonate because like attract like. And it's the same with trauma bonding. That's why we call it trauma bonding. You will start to attract what is vibrating on the same level as you. If you vibrate violence because you didn't heal from that wound and it's still open, you still bleeding, of course, unfortunately, I know it's violent what I'm saying, but that's a reality. You will attract exactly the same because again, like attract like. Then what you have to do is making the decision, do not stay in the victim mode. And this is the most difficult part because you have a certain period where you are in a victim mode and you will blame the world, not even accepting that you attract this. This is a huge acknowledgement. It's a huge breakthrough when you leave the victim mode stage to pass on the other side and start to acknowledge, say, oh yeah, I need to heal that. What do I do about this? And that's the moment when you make the best decision in your life is going to see a professional.
That's so powerful. So, from what I heard you say, it needs to start with that level of awareness because if we're not aware of it, we can't make any moves forward. And then the next step after we have this level of awareness is to make the decision to live that next level life, a decision to change our proximity, a decision to change the way that we're turning up, a decision to change our frequency. So, for myself as a survivor, one of the biggest challenges was even just turning on the light to awareness because it's like a fish doesn't know water. I didn't really realize, is this really an abusive relationship? I drink a little, he drinks a little, and he's got a couple of bruises too. So it really took a lot for me to realize that, you know what, this is not actually okay. This is not how people exist. But what I did notice is because they keep you in they keep you in a bubble. They keep you in a world that works for them. And we don't see or we're not close to other people so that we could ask the questions. So it was only through hearing things on podcasts and listening to other people talk that I even realized that perhaps maybe this is not okay. So what do you think we can do to help people lift their level of awareness?
Speak. I think it's time for you to speak. I know it's difficult, especially when it's domestic violence. I've been there myself. Even if it's sexual abuse, I've been there. It's really difficult to speak about. But the first things, today you have professionals who can help you. Start this way. You will maybe not find the right therapist or the right doctor directly, but continue to search. I would say don't give up. I say don't give up because in my case, I didn't find the right psychiatric doctor directly. When I was followed by a psychiatric doctor at that time, I needed medicine because I attempted to my life many times. And I was not awakened then. That was one way for me to slowly awaken to myself. But I want to say, please don't stay hidden. Speak to one of your friends. And please, for the friends, don't judge, because that's always the fear we have. When we speak, we are afraid that we are judged by others. Yes, with family members, unfortunately, it's happening a lot, because that's why I started to speak. And then I said, no, I will not speak anymore, because the family, unfortunately, cannot understand you like someone who is external to the situation. They know you so well, and they want you to be the way they want you to be. And often they don't have the tendency to accept you for who you are. That's the problem with the family. Then I would say, family, for that type of subject, forget. Go for friends, go for a professional or completely stranger, because they are outside, they are not involved in the situation. And that's where the problem is. When you are involved, you feel things and you start to judge in a different way. I would say your first step is this: start to speak. Second, start a therapy with someone, any professional you can find. You can do energy healing. You can go to see a psychotherapist, a psychiatric doctor. You can go to many different ways, because today it's available everywhere. It's not like 10 years ago even. And 10 years ago for me seems very far. It's not far. But we didn't have all those resources. Today on YouTube, you have even people giving you solution in their podcast, like now, people who are giving a testimony of what happened to them, even doctors speaking on YouTube. Then the resources are infinite. Just try to open your mind and go on the internet, because today you have access to everything. You don't need to stay alone.
It's so true. And as always, listeners, be mindful of how you can keep yourself safe and secure if you are looking online, so that you're making sure you're deleting your browser history and those sorts of things. Because, if you're in an environment where he or she likes to control what it is that you're doing, then you need to make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. Okay, so after this level of awareness, then comes the decision. Yeah. So, I hear it every day. People seem to be paralyzed, and it's not just talking about wellness, and it's not just talking about healing through love and everything in and around trauma and domestic violence. But it seems to be, as a human race, we seem to be paralyzed when it comes to decisions. We have this inability to make a decision without asking AI. Look, that just seems to be the thing at the hot minute since 2023. So what would you suggest for people when they're in that stage and they've got the level of awareness? Like, how do they make a decision to be able to move forward?
Listen your heart. I know it's difficult when you are in a state of trauma, because as a traumatized person, like I mentioned earlier, you are scattered, your mind is all over the place. Then because your mind is all over the place, try to center with your heart what your heart wants. Go back to the moment when you was a little one. What was your dream? What did you feel in your heart? You was following your intuition at that time. And yes, you have been traumatized. Yes, you are still in a very heavy situation, but your intuition is still there. We call it also the gut feeling. And pause, even if it's only 30 seconds. Pause. Place your hand on your heart. Forget your mind, because your mind is like a monkey. Give it a banana and say bye. Go on holidays now and connect with your heart. You can place your hand here on your heart chakra, exactly there. Close your eyes and ask and say, what do I want? What do I need? Sorry, I'm becoming emotional now. I lose even my voice because, when I connect with my heart, it goes really deep for me. And you will get the answer. You can place the second hand, the left hand, if you want, on your tummy area, which is your gut. And at that time, anything you feel that can resonate with you. Some people will call the archangel, others will call the universe, some will call God directly. Do in a way you feel it's resonating the most with you, but by entering in contact, this is a physical contact, you replug yourself somehow. It's like really plugging yourself to the current. And at that moment, you will see the intuition will come. It's very fast, and often is the first things that is coming, the first thoughts. And that's the one often we don't listen, because you're like, is that right? Am I listening correctly? Did I hear well? No, that's the first one. Never forget. Because that's why we make mistake, even in those abusive situations. We hear it. Clearly we hear it. We know from deep inside what is good for us and what is wrong, but we don't listen that intuition. And we are guessing again. It's always doubting, because the person who is abusing you in general try to convince and controlling you, not only with words, often is energetic, because you are bounded also energetically. You have psychic codes that links you to that person. And I would say this is also a thing you can do. They have many meditation you can find online to cut the codes with a person that is toxic, or cut the toxic codes. That's the keywords you can type on the internet.
I love this. So many handy hints. So starting with leaning into being able to make the decision and connecting with your own intuition by physically putting your hand on your heart and then also on your tummy chakra. Yeah. So both of those spaces. And then I love this, that if you know, clearly what holds us in these challenges with family and domestic violence are the patterns of behaviors of ourselves, but also for others. So in order for you to be able to move forward, you need to do the process of energetically cutting the cords. If you've never heard of that before, then please look, Google it. And there are lots of really great meditations to walk you through cutting those cords. I love it. So I want to ask Sabine, when people work with you, what does it look like? Do they work one-on-one with you, or is it a group program? How do people work with you?
For the moment, I'm working one-to-one. I'm in a process to create some groups. First, we will start with small groups where people have approximately the same issue. Then it will help also people to hear the stories of others. And often I've noticed you progress even faster because you are in a small group of 5, 6 people maximum. And one start to share, and others are like, oh yeah, it's resonating with what I have, or what I felt, or what happened to me. And then you feel all of a sudden like, yes, I'm in a safe space. That person shared, I can share a little bit. You start to share a little bit, and then you have the third one coming in the same way. This is why I'm in process to create that. But now let's come back to the one-to-one. I'm specialized, like I said, in dysfunctional trouble, let's say this way. I have myself attracted a lot of clients who have been abused sexually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, because that's what happened to me. Then of course you attract. It took me years to understand. This is why I became specialized in that field, and I'm very proud of it today, because now I have the tool, because I learned the technique, and at the same time, because I pass by, I'm able to feel what you feel. And this is very important to help you to move on in a one-to-one session. I wanted also to give a bracket here. I forgot to say that I have a blog. And on my website, if you go to the blog section, I have written a blog about psychic hook, psychic attacks, and how to cut the cords. You can start, if you want, this way. You will already understand many things about that. To come back to one-to-one session in general is a program, because you must be aware that it's not a quick fix. It was not a quick fix for me. It was not for you. That's how it works. Healing is, unfortunately, let's say this way, a journey. I have often people telling me, okay, how many sessions do I need? Do you think 3 it's enough? If you have been through abuse for years and years, don't dream, unfortunately. I cannot give you hope in this way. 3 sessions will never be enough. Even 5 sessions will never be enough. I have people who are into this healing journey for years. Of course, you will not go for 10 years. Those are the type of very rapid therapies. I had people in 1 year finished. I have one, she has been abused for many, many years, and the husband was even posting this sexual action on porn. Was really a disaster. 5 years of psychiatric therapy, psychology, nothing worked. She came to me 1 year with 2 sessions per month. Finally, she met someone who was the total opposite of her ex-husband. And this was the proof that she shifted her energy. Today she's married. Of course, she continued the therapy, but I'm giving you a time frame of 1 year at 2 sessions per month. In her case, it was a very deep case. She could shift her vibration, and finally she attracts someone, which is the dream. You get my point? And that was really a great success.
I love that's great.
Yeah.
And this is all relative as well. So I love how you've taken the combination of the life coaching, the NLP, the regression therapy, the trance cancel. So for those who don't know what trance is, maybe we could just give them just a little bit of an idea of what trance is. And quantum healing is basically an energy healing. So, but I think trance, a lot of people might not know what trance is.
Quantum healing, that's correct. It's energy healing. I'm just tapping in different type of energy, different realms, let's say this way. Now, transpersonal regression therapy. When we say the word trans, people always are like, okay, what is that? And it's normal because we have been misinformed. You are in a trance many, many times per day. Let's give me an example. You on TikTok, you're already in trance. You are like this. And I can speak with you, you'll be here. What did you say? You will be like that. And this is happening to everyone. This is a state of light to medium trance. Just to give you an example, and you are in that stage many, many times. In a transpersonal regression therapy, I will guide you in a certain way with your emotion, because it's a therapy that works mainly on the somatic level. And from the moment you enter in certain level of emotions, you go automatically in a light trance, then in a medium trance. And I have people who will go to a deep trance. And when they are in a deep trance, they are still aware of what is going on in the surrounding. They still hear my voice. And I'm telling you, I do this online, and it's not complicated for anyone. They still hear my voice. They still hear the surrounding. And if they want to go out of trance, they just make the decision to go out. But the difference between a light, medium, or deep trance is your level of awareness. And the fact that when you are in a deep trance, your unconscious mind is coming on the surface. And your ego mind, which often take the control of everything, goes on the background. And that's the moment when you can go with deep feeling. You can bring back memories that were vanished. I have people, because of trauma, and it happened to me also, you do volunteer amnesia, especially as a child. It's a survival mode to protect yourself, otherwise you would not survive. And then some people, when you are ready, of course, I will never force anyone to go there because it can be dangerous, I'm saying in advance. Now, when the person is ready to go back to see what they could not see, feel what they were avoiding or were in denial, because you need to touch the emotion to heal it. When you are ready to go to that state, being in a deep trance is really helping you to go like you are in an overview or like in a bird view. You feel, but you can distance yourself. We can do many exercises of dissociation to help you to stay in a deep trance, but at the same time, bringing all the memories, bringing all the feeling that you need to get, because you need awareness and you need to remember to be able to heal something, especially when they had huge amnesia. But the deep trance will help you to go there. Of course, your first session, except that if you have done past life regression before, any type of hypnotherapy, some people will be able to go directly in a deep trance. But in general, the person doesn't know me, the person doesn't know my energy. And the first session, you always like tiptoe, you hesitate, and it's normal, we are human. Then you will go to light or medium trance your first session. I had people going directly, deep trance, but that's not the majority.
I love it. I love it. We could talk all day, Sabine. There's so much frequency and energy. And for those uninitiated, think trance, think sort of hypnosis. If you're trying to sort of, how does this fit into it all? It's same, but quite different, but it's going to help you understand it a little bit more for those listening today. Look, just as a final question here, Sabine, what would be your closing words of wisdom to our audience?
That's a very good question. I would say to all the people present here in the audience, trust. I know it's difficult because when you pass by experience like this one, or those one, because some of us has passed by many, even trusting yourself is difficult. But don't forget, you are a being of light, incarnated into a physical body. And your mission on this earth is getting back in contact with your light. Yes, it was a difficult journey. Yes, it was full darkness. Yes, you still work on your shadow side. For some of you, you didn't even start your work. You are still stuck into the mud. But I can tell you, I'm the proof alive that it's possible. And I pass by many, I don't want to say the word horror, but if I say my full journey, some of you will be like, wow, you're still alive? Yes. And you can see me, I'm radiating light. Now I'm feeling whole and complete. And this is why I do this job, because I want for all of you that you come to that state. No matter what is in the past, we have to move on. Your past, yes, has built who you are today, but this made you stronger. And from the moment you will be healed, I can promise you, because it happened to me, it happened to many of my clients. I have many testimonials now where people are explaining who they were before and after they healed. I can promise you, if you make the decision today to reconnect with your light, it's possible. Yes, it will be a journey. I cannot give you hope and say, okay, tomorrow you are fixed. No, it doesn't exist. Miracles are existing, yes, and you will get back to light.
Oh, I love it, Sabine. Thank you so much. I love it. I love it. So to get back in contact with Sabine, the link is going to be in the show notes and in the show description. That's access to her website. Now, when you're on the website, a little pop-up will come up, ask you if you want to stay connected, and that is the offer of the ebook. So watch out for that when you go to the link that we'll have here in the show notes and also in the show description. It's been a beautiful opportunity, and I'm looking forward to having a chat with you later on in the year, I'm hoping, Sabine, as your business moves forward and you expand to your group programs. That's a goodbye from us at Healing Through Love and a goodbye from Sabine.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Much love. Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Healing Through Love. You can get further resources, see the show notes, or simply reach out to us via our website at htlaustralia.org. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to your company next time on the Healing Through Love podcast.